The age-old question: is cisgender a slur? We're about to find out AI's opinion on trans people. Yay. Hey Spuds, how's it going? It's Jamie. Welcome back to another video. First video on the channel, I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here, and today is something I've never done before, and I'm very intrigued to do, and I'm curious about. Basically, I'm going to be having a conversation, a little discussion with Chat GPT about trans people, about Chat GPT's opinion. Can Chat GPT have an opinion? I don't know, but I'm going to ask for their opinion. What pronouns do I use? I don't know. I'm going to be talking to a machine. It's not that strange. I'm going to be asking questions about trans people, like transphobes, trans rights, and we're going to have a look at what Chat GPT's opinion is of trans people and of transphobes and transphobia. So let's have a look. And every time I say Chat GPT, I wanted to say GPT, GPT. All right, got the app on my phone. Let's do this. So I wondered if we would start off with like quite a big question. I've written down a list of questions that I would like to ask. I feel like an interviewer. Like, hello, Chat GPT. I really appreciate your time today talking about trans people and trans rights and transphobia. I've got a list of questions and let's get on with them. There's not really a specific order to them, so I think we're just gonna ask it. Let's start off with saying like, hi, I am transgender. What do you think of that? Okay. As an AI, I don't have personal opinions or feelings. However, I can provide information and support. If you have any questions or if there's anything specific you'd like to discuss or know about being transgender, feel free to ask. You're not giving me an opinion, but what you are saying is I can't have a personal feeling, but I'm here to support you. I appreciate that. Cool. What shall I ask? Let's go with the big one. Are trans rights human rights? Trans rights are human rights. Chat GPT says yes. Yes. The concept of trans rights is rooted in the belief that every individual, regardless of their gender identity, deserves equal rights and protection as a human being. There you have it. Trans rights are human rights. The right to self-identify, access healthcare, be free from discrimination, and live authentically are fundamental aspects of human rights. Many international human rights organizations and advocates recognize and support the rights of transgender individuals. It's important to promote inclusivity, respect, and equal treatment for all people, including those who are transgender. So basically, ChatGPT is like, yeah mate, why wouldn't you? Let's like respect all human beings, give them access equally to healthcare and rights and being themselves. Don't be a dick. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm paraphrasing slightly, but you get the gist. Let's do, are trans women women and are trans men men? What are you gonna say? Yes! Trans women are women and trans men are men. Gender identity is a deeply personal and individual experience, and it may not align with the sex assigned at birth. ChatGPT is spitting the facts. This is just things that trans people and trans allies have been saying forever. It's like, don't go all primary school, or what else would it be? Like elementary school, kindergarten level biology on me? No, we're talking about gender identity here. You cannot tell somebody else what their gender is. That person can tell you what theirs is, and not everybody's aligned with their assigned sex, and that's okay, and it doesn't stop them from being the gender that they are. I am a man despite the fact that I was assigned female at birth. Thank you, ChatGPT. There is more. Transgender individuals have a gender identity that differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. Affirming their gender identity is an important aspect of respecting their dignity and autonomy. It is widely recognized and supported by medical and psychological associations that gender identity is separate. That gender identity is separate from biological sex. Thank you. And that transgender individuals should be recognized and respected according to their affirmed gender. This is like so wonderfully succinct and perfect in how things are being summarized. I appreciate you, ChatGPT. This leads nicely onto my next question of, is gender affirming care the correct approach for gender dysphoria? Send. Yes, gender affirming care is widely recognized as the appropriate approach for individuals with gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria refers to the distress. We know what gender dysphoria is. Gender affirming care aims to alleviate this distress and promote the well-being of transgender individuals, which it does. Gender affirming care can include various components such as mental health support, hormone therapy, and gender affirming surgeries, depending on individual needs and preferences. Yes, great. It's important to involve qualified healthcare professionals, brilliant experience in transgender healthcare. That's the problem. I feel like so many people who are like, yes, no, I'm a healthcare professional, or I am a psychologist, or I do this and that. And they're spewing all this transphobia and all of these anti-trans, anti-gender affirming opinions. But actually, when you look at them, it's like, but you don't have any experience working with trans people. You don't have any expertise. You don't have any like formal training or anything in helping people with gender dysphoria or working with trans people or treating trans people. But you think that you know better than the people who do. It's like people specialize in any kind of medical field. Like somebody who very specifically knows how to administer the right dose of anesthetic would be unlikely to be able to do, I don't know, very specialist plastic surgery on people's toes. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know what I'm basically trying to say. People who don't specialize in this area and don't know as much as the people that do are trying to shout over the people that do and say they're wrong. And it's like, well, that's not the case. Chat GPT is here to say, those people are wrong. Numerous medical and psychological associations, including the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, the WPATH, and the American Psychological Association, the APA, endorse gender-affirming care as a standard care for transgender individuals. It recognises the importance of affirming and respecting an individual's gender identity to improve their overall quality of life and mental well-being. Thank you. I have a question that I don't think I'm ever actually going to get a real answer for, but I am curious about because it is something that bugs me so much. And I really, really don't understand why people are transphobic. Why? And not just like why be transphobic, but why be loudly and publicly transphobic in a way that tries to take away the rights of other human beings that you don't know anything about? Why are people transphobic? And transphobia, like any form of prejudice or discrimination, can stem from a variety of factors and societal influences. It's important to note that people's beliefs and attitudes can be shaped by cultural, religious, or social norms which may contribute to negative biases towards transgender individuals. Some common reasons for transphobia include... Okay, it's very like the non-emotional, factual, like, yes, some people are transphobic because of the way they've been brought up and the way they have been taught to view the world. Lack of understanding or awareness. Many people may not have accurate information or knowledge about trans identities, fair leading to misunderstanding and fear. That one, all there needs to be is a willingness to be like, hey, I don't understand this thing very much, and I can either choose to look into it more and learn a bit more and be more open about it, or just kind of like stay in my lane and it be something I don't know anything about and that doesn't affect my life, so I'm not going to affect people who are dealing with this thing. Traditional gender norms. Some individuals may hold rigid beliefs about gender roles and identities, viewing any deviation as a threat to societal norms and values. Seen that one a lot. Fear of the unknown. Transphobia can be rooted in a fear of unfamiliar experiences or discomfort with challenges to one's own beliefs about gender. I do often think it comes down to a fear of the unknown for most people, even if there's other things going on. Prejudice and stigma can also be fueled by preconceived stereotypes, prejudices, misconceptions, yes. Institutional and systemic factors can be reinforced by discriminatory policies, inadequate legal protections, and societal structures that perpetuate exclusion and marginalization. Addressing transphobia requires education, empathy, and fostering inclusive and accepting environments. It's essential to challenge stereotypes, promote accurate information, and advocate for transgender rights and inclusion to combat transphobia effectively. Chat GPT not only explained to me why some people might be transphobic in, yes, a very factual, listy way, not the emotional reason. But yeah, I appreciate the reasons given. I've definitely come across people who have come from those positions or a combination of them, but also saying this needs to be addressed because it's not fair. It's not fair to treat trans people based on your own prejudices and your fears. You can't be shitty to people just because you don't know about something. I guess leading on from that, not only why are people transphobic, but why is there so much transphobia at the minute? So why is there so much transphobia at the moment? Send what we're going to hear back. While progress has been made in advancing transgender rights and understanding, there are still instances of transphobia and challenges faced by the trans community. Yes, the reasons for the persistent can vary, but a few factors may contribute to its prevalence. Are very similar to above. So lack of education and awareness, yes. Resistance to social change, yeah. Backlash from individuals who hold deeply ingrained beliefs and fear change. Political and media narratives. This one has caused a lot of damage, I feel, recently, and always actually, because we've gone from being trans being like this sensationalized thing of like
sex change surgery
to being this thing that is like fear is induced over it. It used to be like an othering and oh, look at this interesting person that's doing something that you'd never want to do, but oh, look at them, fascinating, to now being something that's like, look at what they're doing to
your friends and your family and your children, they're after them.
Like it's turned into this fear mongering, which is very scary. Fear and misunderstanding, yeah, which I think is created by narratives. Intersectionality and systemic discrimination. Transphobia can intersect with other forms of discrimination such as racism, ableism, or sexism. sexism, exacerbating the challenges faced by transgender individuals. And again, Chat GPT said it's important to continue fostering education, empathy, and open dialogue to address transphobia, because we shouldn't be transphobic, basically, because it's shit. An interesting one. One to answer the age-old question. Something that transphobes, not just transphobes as well, just people who don't really know very much, really don't like the term cis. So, ChatGPT, is cisgender a slur? Is it? Yeah, I'm waiting. No. No. The term cisgender is not a slur. It is a neutral and descriptive term used to refer to individuals whose gender identity aligns with the sex they were assigned at birth. It literally is just the opposite of transgender. The term cisgender is widely accepted and used in academic, medical, and LGBTQ+ communities as a way to differentiate between transgender and non-transgender individuals. Using the term cisgender helps to acknowledge and respect the diverse experiences and identities of people, including those who are transgender. These answers are all like the factual correct answers, but I am very impressed with the delivery. Let's ask about TERFs. What is a TERF? TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. It refers to a subset of feminists, would we call them feminists? No, who hold views that exclude transgender women from the definition of womanhood. TERFs typically argue that biological sex is the sole determinant of gender and deny the gender identities of transgender individuals. Already there, what did we get told by Chat GPT? It is a mouth twister, tongue twister, difficult to say. What did we get told earlier? Chat GPT said that it is recognised that gender identity and biological sex are two separate things, whereas TERFs deny that fact. So already, what kind of argument do they have to stand on? None. They're just transphobes. TERF ideology, it is an ideology, has been criticised for perpetuating transphobia and contributing to the marginalisation and discrimination of transgender individuals. Many consider TERF beliefs to be inconsistent with the principles of intersectional feminism, which advocates for inclusivity and supports the rights and experiences of all women, including transgender women. Because what did we determine earlier? That trans women are women. It's important to note that the term TERF is often used in a negative or critical context due to the harm and discrimination associated with this particular ideology. However, it's crucial to approach discussions about differing viewpoints with respect and open-mindedness while upholding the rights and dignity of all individuals, including transgender people. I appreciate that bit on the end. I don't think it's wrong to use the term TERF, and it's so easy to get angry at people who are lying and being horrible for no reason, and just, it is infuriating. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just anger-inducing. What is a woman? Let's see, are we going to answer Matt Walsh's question? The concept of woman encompasses various aspects, including social, cultural, and personal dimensions. Traditionally, the term woman has been associated with individuals who are assigned female at birth and typically identify as female. However, it's important to recognise that gender identity is not solely determined by biological factors, meaning that being a woman is not just down to your body. In contemporary understanding, a woman can be defined as someone who identifies and experiences themselves as female. This includes transgender women, who are individuals assigned male at birth but identify and live as women. Gender identity is a deeply personal self-defined experience. It is essential to respect and affirm individual self-identified genders. Cool. It's worth noting that the definition of woman can vary based on cultural, social, and individual perspectives. Embracing diversity and recognising the complexity of gender identities helps foster inclusivity and respect for all individuals. It was that easy. It's a long definition in a roundabout way, saying it in like a much more kind of robust way with an explanation. That is just saying a woman is someone who identifies as a woman, and that encompasses everybody who has that identity, no matter their body or their bodily functions or their reproductive organs or reproductive ability. Ta-da! Oh, I didn't ask one. I should have asked this before I asked why are people transphobic. Let's ask, what is a transphobe? What is a transphobe? What is a transphobe? A transphobe is someone who holds prejudice, attitudes, beliefs, or engages in discriminatory behaviour towards transgender individuals. So it's not necessarily someone who just has a phobia. Do not get confused, transphobes, by the word phobia. It is also it's prejudice. Transphobia can manifest in various ways, such as refusing to acknowledge or respect a person's gender identity, using derogatory language, denying access to healthcare or employment opportunities, or promoting harmful stereotypes about transgender people. Transphobia is rooted in ignorance, fear, and biases, and it can have significant negative impacts on the well-being and rights of transgender individuals. Yes, and then I think we've had this bit before, it's important to challenge these views, blah blah blah. Thank you, Chat GPT. You're welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help and to support trans people. Well, that was everything I hoped for and more. I didn't really know what to expect. I'm talking to a bot. What do you think of trans people and transphobia? But literally just straight up facts of the matter, the objective truth about trans people, trans people's experiences, transphobia, and people are just assholes to trans people, aren't they? For no reason. Sorry, Chat GPT did give us some reasons, but they're all reasons that are not adequate enough to want to take away somebody's rights, especially when the arguments used to take away those rights are rooted in lies. Are just lies. They're not even rooted, they are just like bold-faced lies. That's what transphobia is. It's just hate, discrimination, and lying. But yeah, if you like this video, I would be very happy to dive into the world of Chat GPT again. If you've got some follow-up questions, if you want me to do like a part 2 with some of your suggestions, then go leave them down below or DM me on Instagram, whatever you want to do, and I can come back at you with another episode of this if you liked it. Yeah, think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing, but no pressure if you don't want to, and I'll see you next time. Much love. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!